We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, thank you all for coming. Member attendance, everyone here but Dave Kelsey. Got a new member, Jordan Rasmussen. Welcome.
Good to be here.
Yeah. Okay, everybody has had a moment to look over the January 2025 meeting minutes. Discussion? Motion to approve.
I'll make a motion to approve the January 8th.
Motion made by Tom, can I get a second? Second. Seconded by Dave, any further discussion? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried.
Yeah, that's fine.
We got it. Okay, anybody had time to look over the meeting agenda for today?
Meeting.
I get a motion to approve the agenda for today's meeting.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda for today.
I'll second it.
Okay, motion by Jay, seconded by Jordan, any further discussion? All those in favor? Alright, motion carried. Okay, at this time, I will open it up to public comment, agenda items only.
Do you want me to come up there?
You can come up here and stay there, just give us your name.
Okay. Sounds good. I'll come up here so you can see it. Well, hello everyone. My name is Frank Acosta, and I own a property in the township here. Over on Lake Forest. It's a small cottage. I bought it several years ago, and today I want to be here and speak on behalf of short-term rentals. I saw this on the agenda, and so I would just love to talk to you a little bit about short-term rentals. I own a short-term rental in the township, and I would just love to talk to you a little bit about the impact that short-term rentals make, and specifically, you know, our property in general. So just a little bit about kind of our property and myself. So I bought it. We put an offer in at 2021, and we've owned it since then. And in 2023, we listed it as a short-term rental. So it's been running as a short-term rental for about 2 years now. Since then, just to talk about some of the impact that the short-term rental has had in 2 years, and keep in mind this accounts for past and future bookings. We've had 207 bookings since we launched 2 years ago. We've had 540 nights booked. Again, that's past and also accounting for future bookings that are already there. Of those, we've had 574 guests in our short-term rental, and the average length of stay is 2.86 days. So most of the time when people come, it's a long weekend that they're staying at our property, or they're staying during the week. So assuming each person spends $100 during their stay with us on things like gas, restaurants, groceries, those types of things, that would equate to $57,400 being invested back here locally into the community. That's assuming each person spent $100, which, as we know, with the cost of things rising throughout the past few years, it's really easy to spend $100 when you're out and about. So that's just hypothetical, though. If each person spent $100 during their stay that has came out in the community, and assuming they spent maybe $150, that would be $86,100 invested back into the community. So I just want to show a little bit about just the impact that I think that our short-term rental is having positively here in the community. I would also just add in that Airbnb platforms like Airbnb, Vrbo, they take a lot of measures to make sure that guests that are on the platform are being vetted and that they're good quality guests. If you're not a good quality guest, you aren't allowed on the platform, and therefore that reduces the number of bad quality guests that would ever come into a property. And so we've never had a party or an issue due to guest negligence, and we stay really in touch with our neighbors. That's very important to us because our neighbors are important to us and our property is important to us. So I just wanted to also share that I did a little bit of digging into the numbers, and 18% of our guests have been from Chicago, 10% of our guests have been from Grand Rapids, 4% have been from Detroit, 3% from Lansing. So these are guests that might not have came to the area locally had it not been for our property specifically, and we're one of several properties in the local community. So I just wanted to share some of that. And also, I mean, locally, we have employed handymen, contractors, cleaners, lawn care, plumbing, electrical, all local people that live right here that we have hired to come in and to help us take care of the property. So we're continuing to invest in our property and also locally the community. So just wanted to share some of that. And then also too, local is so important to us. And so every guest that comes, we promote local stores like, you know, Farm Country Cheese House, Leppings, JV's Country Store, Griffith Market, Chaps Roadhouse, Main Street Pizza, Lakeview Alley Cat, What's the Scoop Ice Cream in the summer. And then we also promote Six Lakes Dizzy Days, because I know that's like a kind of a newer event the past few years. We promote that every summer. And then also the local farmers market. So I just wanted to come in because I really care about this community. I care about our property. I care about short-term rentals. And so I just wanted to come in and just tell you a little bit about it because I do think that we share a common goal. And that goal is to continue to see this township and our community flourish. So I just wanted to come and share some of that, and I really appreciate the time. So thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, anyone else? Okay, I will go ahead and close public comment. Kelsey's not here, so, board update from Dave.
The credit union, Mine Lapping brought a banner that all the ice fishermen signed as a spare, and that, they let us use we're gonna put it on this wall. We voted last night, or Monday night, to put it up here for everybody to view and see, and Tim said from the credit union that, whenever we don't want it at the township anymore, they'll take it back. They want to display it here for people to see it. So that's one thing. We covered insurance, 2 meetings ago, and then the rental fee on Monday night, we, changed the fee, and it was $50 to rent the hall. We've changed it to $100 if you're a resident, $200 if you're not, and then they're bringing it back in. They used to always have to go to the library, now Ginger,
Jamie.
and Jamie are gonna, handle it from now on. Now, the fee, if somebody, we give them a week, I'm guessing the library's gonna let them know, we give them a week. Cause they said they booked clear out to almost Christmas ahead of time, so we give them a week. If they haven't put a deposit down, they put the deposit down, they can keep the price, otherwise it's gonna go up to the $100. That's the biggest thing, we wanna get the word out, that one, to raise the fee, but two, they gotta go to Ginger, Jamie to get the key now, and get it scheduled. Working on roads will be next month and the month after. And then I asked about tiny homes to be on there, because that, gentleman that came into the board had called me, and he'd been in contact with Marcy, and, Marcy said now he's thinking that as long as it's gonna take to get it done through the planning commission, and, I mean, he didn't realize that you have to do county road specs, and there's a lot more splitting to do than what he expected. He may just try to sell that, but I asked her if she still wanted tiny homes put in front of short-term rentals. She said no, there's been a lot more calls. So we still gotta work on tiny homes, but short-term rentals is definitely after we get this like residential done. So that was basically what, we've talked about.
Okay, moving on to old business. We have to elect officers. So, first things first, we need a chairman.
Make a motion to, vote you for chairman. You've been doing a great job as a stand-in, and you're very locally connected. So it's a good spot for you, I feel.
All right.
How does Jordan feel like being?
I'll-
No, if you're good, Joe,
I
I
know,
don't,
I'll-
okay.
I'll do it.
Yeah, Joe's good with it.
All right.
Yeah.
You can let me do it after I go down a wall if you
Alright.
want.
Yeah.
Next meeting.
I'll do it.
Okay.
Okay, motion made by Quanah to make me the chairman. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Motion seconded by Jake. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. All right. So next, now we need a vice chair. Anybody want to volunteer for that?
Jordan, you want to?
I'll be vice if you guys want, it's fine.
I'll make a motion to make Jordan the vice chairman.
I'll second the motion.
Seconded by Quanah. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, motion carried. Still a ZBA rep, so
You got the secretary.
secretary.
We still haven't found one yet, but we're gonna head it up.
Jake's doing a great job.
I see one right there.
I don't have time to do that stuff. You don't pay enough.
Let's put that on the agenda. Secretary raise.
Dick, how long is it taking to do the secretary stuff? Like a few hours?
Last meeting wasn't as bad, the meeting before that,
Took a long time.
A long time.
4 hours.
Yeah.
So I think the one that I did, I watched Jamie's video, it probably took me all of 4 hours.
Uh-huh.
That's,
That's what it takes,
Just
a
because
good
you
4
wanna be
hours.
accurate. I mean, that's the biggest thing about it.
I hope to be building a house this summer, so I just don't wanna volunteer myself for something I can't commit to.
No, you're here every time.
I'm here, but outside of here.
I will continue to do as long
You'll
as,
continue to do
Yeah,
it?
that way you can try to find.
Okay.
as long as necessary.
Okay. Make a motion to-
We might as well, yeah, we'll make a motion, I'll make a motion that Jamie stays the recording secretary.
I'll second it. Okay, motion made by Quanah, seconded by me. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed, motion carried. Next, we'll go into our rezoning boundary lines, and that's where I'll turn it over to Ethan. Welcome.
Yeah, thank you. How are you guys all doing?
Pretty good.
Are you Brandy?
No, I am not Brandy, I'm
Okay,
Jamie.
awesome. You
Brandy's not
Brandy.
here.
Brandy's not here.
No, she's a supervisor.
I've only spoken with her on the phone, but, yeah, hope to meet her sometime. Thanks for having me out today. I drove up here today with the windows down. I'm happy the spring is on the way. You guys have worked with McKenna before, for your master plan update, so you're familiar with us. Danielle was your point of contact, but she's moved on, as I'm sure you guys know, so, I'm here to help you guys through this process. It's a pretty straightforward, zoning map update. Or, on its face, it seems that way. We just need to go through the 97 map and, transfer that over to a more readable map. I'm sure you guys are aware of the status of the old map. We had, kind of a time looking at that and, trying to make it as accurate as possible with the new version. So, let me pass out both my agendas and maps. Alright, so on this first one, we've got, updated whole township zoning map on the front, and then call out of the village on the back.
Thank you.
And then on the second one, oh yes, I could do this.
They didn't go on record at all.
Oh, awesome, so some of you already have those. The second one has a blow up of your commercial area, on the front side, and, the Lake Residential Districts. Back. And you can see those a little bit more clearly. So introductions, you know me, Paige Berger is a GIS assistant, and she's not here today, but she's been working on the project, and then Chris, is also available for contact anytime, he's overseeing the project. So the schedule, you know, we are on step 2, presenting to the planning commission. Brandy and I have spoken a few times. She has checked in with, the village manager, I believe. Is that one of you here today, or? No. Okay. And they went over a couple of the properties that needed to be, changed from the first version that we sent over. And now we just wanna get your feedback on, you know, how this looks. If the Lake Residential Districts are kind of matching your vision for this district. And then also just go over, because the original map, was kind of difficult to read, we wanted to make sure that this new map reflects, to the best of our abilities, what it actually is zoned. So, I think we can start with the Lake Residential District. Yeah, I'll just kind of turn it over to you folks, to get your impressions on that. And, yeah, let me know how it looks. These, designations are pretty similar to what was in the future land use map and the master plan. Lake Forest was zoned, suburban residential, or shown as, potentially zoned suburban residential in the future land use map. But because, you know, that's a lake as well, we included that in the district.
That's all the last around it. Yeah. And across the street, obviously. Also, that's it. Just kinda curious about the timeline, that little strip right there, I'm assuming that's, is that just road right away? I remember there's a section.
Yes, that is, that,
Okay.
Are you guys able to see this well enough, or would it be helpful to have it on?
I can see.
Unless the audience wants to see it.
Yeah.
That'd be
I
great.
think it'd have a
That'd be
recording.
great.
You want to put up? Let's do it.
Mhm.
We can't understand anything you say.
I was thinking that's right with the road
that's
is.
where there's no.
Right, yeah, there's no lot. Yeah, I think it's the same here on ten, right, that stretch there, that's just.
I don't think it's plugged in.
Right, I thought we might have battery power.
Just plug it in.
Since I'm new, I think it's like resident code only, what's on the lake, is a little about the idea. I was wondering if there's like a couple orange lots out by town line, but. Oh, nothing, I just was looking at like the south side of town line, there's that one lot, like right there, but I assume it's cause that doesn't touch the lake, so.
Gotcha, right.
I'm just familiar with the area, so. I'm kinda laughing at that lot's not lake residential since
It does.
all those lots there are so small and crammed in that.
Right, well, so this, you know, district doesn't have to, you know, be obviously it's not arbitrary, but, these lots don't have to immediately touch the lake to be, you know, kind of fit into that category. So if there are other lots,
Smoke is like part of my lake.
Well, I was wondering if the
Almost everybody that
campground
has a
getting,
lakefront lot has a lot across the road, like 95% of
Sure.
the residents on James, they own a property on the other side. There's a couple exceptions, my 4 lots, we don't have a lot across, but.
are we, again, sorry, cause I'm new, but I take it the Bass Beach campground's getting treated differently, cause I see they have frontage, but they're rural residential. that's that big yellow slot, you can see that yellow slot between the two blue slots on the south side where it says Bass Beach Drive. On, Township. Like there's a gap of where rural residential comes up to the lake.
There's the suburban residential, is that what you're talking about?
On like.
Oh,
north
no,
of
no,
comes
no, I
over
see what you're
Bass
saying.
Beach
I see what you're
Drive.
saying.
Beach Drive where rural residential
Yep.
comes up.
Yeah, see, like, I just know for a fact that land touches the lake there, so, like the campground there, but I didn't know if we were treating the campground differently or something.
They couldn't have the restrictions for camping, they could do, like residential.
Which one is he
Right.
talking about?
Yeah, I was just curious, like I said, I know that property touches the water, so,
Yeah, it does.
You just say, but we have campground as a permitted use for like residential, so it just stay in that same category. But we could make it so it's like residential, wouldn't change any of their standing.
okay.
Yeah, we put camping, a campground as a permitted use
Oh,
for
okay.
lake residential.
So it wouldn't affect them then, yeah, that's why I was curious, cause like I said, I just know that's all waterfront there, so.
So is that a lot that you guys would want?
I think that along with that,
Yeah.
one that's kinda all by itself, might as well.
I think that it makes sense to match that orange.
Yeah,
one.
'cause generally, lakefront and then the properties on
The
the
back
other side of the
lot.
road are still considered under the same guise, of not lakefront, but still lake residential.
They're
areas.
kinda all living under the same
Goal,
lifestyle guidelines, yeah.
just as long as that wouldn't, 14-day community thing.
They're a permitted campground,
Yeah.
that's a whole different.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that property, cause I think there's a house on that corner, and then they're away from it even further. Not sure why it would be not rural residential though. That's just going off the old map.
So why wouldn't the Honeymoon Heights be lake residential?
As far as all the, on the north side there,
Yeah,
I'm not sure, like, cause all of that's lakefront, and at least the lots on the other side of the road should be lake residential, but Honeymoon Heights having their own ordinance doesn't really, anything we do doesn't really trump theirs. I'm not sure how they're written, if they're considered, they consider themselves local, they still have to say that they're suburban residential.
Well, and they've got all their own rules anyway, so it wouldn't matter if you're on the lake or not.
it does matter, cause their rules don't override yours, only if they're stronger,
Right.
so it kinda matters.
No, I just meant that I don't think Honeymoon Heights differentiates between if you're lake or not
Lake or
lake.
residential.
No,
have
they
all the
don't,
same-
they just consider they're all lake, I think.
Right, yeah, they have all the same zoning rules that matter. That's all I meant.
Alright, so are you guys referring to a town, or a lot within the village? Within the village?
We're talking about Town Line Lake.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah,
But right at the road, so there's no house there, right?
right.
Here's the road.
You look at that orange lot?
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
one
no
on
house
the
there.
south.
I'm just not sure why it would not be
Well,
rural
and-
residential with the
well,
rest.
There's nothing there.
Where that orange is on Ferry,
Yeah.
yeah, that doesn't touch up to the lake.
And there's nothing on it. I mean,
right
I
on
get
the
why,
corner.
I
It's
get
a-
why Honeymoon Heights, all those houses are suburban residential, they're, more houses by each other. That's just an empty lot, wooded lot. That's,
Yeah, they're just wooded lots right
we
on
might
that
have had some
corner.
issues with our plans.
I just think it would be weird not to have to match
So,
everything
yeah,
around it,
Looking
you
at
know?
the campground here becoming lake residential and this lot by itself right here. And then if you wanna do
It shouldn't be suburban, it should definitely be just rural
rural
residential.
residential,
Yeah.
this one right here, just change it to rural residential.
Jordan, wouldn't you think that that piece by North Barrington and Cutler should be all blue right in there? Even though there's not a house there mean, be someday.
I
I mean,
wasn't
that's
talking
where,
about the one on Ferry, but I mean, I hear what you're saying, that if
it's on the lake.
Yeah, I think for consistency's sake.
I
It
would,
is, right here,
I would consider the house Bonet lives in Lake
Right.
On the other
Residential.
side, so,
right on the other side of the road.
right. It's just a big lot, so they
It's a
didn't,
big
they didn't
lot,
think to
yeah.
put it all.
But there is a house right on the road, and right across the road is the lake.
Joe, were you telling him the orange one on Bass Beach Drive to make that lake residential, or what were you?
Lake residential, yes.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Is the one you were referring to, the one on Ferry, the one zoned suburban residential?
Yeah, she was asking about the one on Ferry.
Gotcha.
Cause that's all along the lake right there. There's no break in the lake right there.
Mhm. That may have been, again, on this old map, which I can pull up, there's, this wasn't one of the ones we specifically called out, but there are several lots that were pretty difficult because of the hatching of the different, layers to, you know, kinda determine what the original intent was there. And if you go in here, you can see, again,
Oh boy.
apologies for the projector setup here, but you can see that some of these have the hatch of the suburban residential. So
Okay.
if that's, you know, something that you guys would like to change, that's fine, but, at some point you run into issues with rezoning, right? Because you need to notify the public if there's significant changes. So, that would just be something to be aware of. Is there anybody, who was around when this map was made that is, oh, okay.
No.
That's kind of
I
what we
think all of our
get here.
birth years are well after.
Okay, yeah, this says 97, but it has the look of
It was a lot
something
older.
that,
Yeah.
it definitely was edited in 97 and not made then.
Right.
I wonder about that one on Schmid,
This
on the
one
north
right
part
underneath
with
there, orange,
yeah, Schmid
on top
and
of there is houses.
Hazel. Look at that one,
Oh, that's
Jordan.
campground though, right?
Schmid and Hazel on the left of the map.
Are you looking at the orange on Lake Road?
Wait,
Oh, just on-
I'm wrong.
You're on,
That goes
Yeah.
clear in there. I'm like, those people don't even have a
So the
lake.
campground is this, I mean, I think these are
The
all
whole road that
houses
goes in
there
there.
though, cause there's houses along
Yeah.
Colorado.
Where'd you say Hazel and Schmid?
The road to get into where
Campground
your
is here.
Sarah lives.
But then
Right
also
here, there's no
campground
lake
owns
there.
this spot.
North of the, yeah.
I don't know how they
Here.
pick it out. I don't know how they're figuring it.
Yeah.
They're
I
calling
mean,
it
there's houses
lakefront.
there, and I'm sure
It's
that'll-
lake
Lake
residential.
residential.
Doesn't
But
mean
they
that it's
don't
like
call
the-
this lake residential.
No,
They
it's
usually
called
have a
suburban
couple more
residential.
up there, but they don't,
But
this is
it's
all
just
swamp,
storage.
so I don't think you
Yeah,
use all
Storage
that.
area.
Yeah.
But they're
that's
not
all
calling
swamp.
this lake residential.
Mhm.
I don't get it.
I mean, this here is that's a big piece.
So that's a really weird one, that's Bonet's property, they don't have, cause they have the farm property behind it, this strip here is like 5 feet.
Yeah,
I mean, you
That's what I
can't,
mean, like, do we,
Yeah.
yeah,
I
I would
wonder
make
if that's
that,
why it was treated differently, cause.
I wouldn't make it late,
No.
considering that it's got farmland attached to that.
They
lot.
were
It
at
just
one time to
happens
make that a
be-
golf course.
Yeah, I'm thinking that's why it's not classified as lake, because it has all the farmland,
Yeah.
and you have to walk across the road to get to the lake, I
Yeah.
mean, they technically own the strip, but
More hunting ground, basically.
Yeah, it's-
Yep, I'm good.
it's just a really
But
beautiful.
Kind of the
Them on,
situations
I
on some of those, we gotta be a little selective.
Yeah,
That's
that's
got
a,
farmland, it's a 20-some acre lot.
it's a beautifully placed farmhouse is what it is, so.
Right.
and you
But
can
there's
put it on
nothing to
a-
keep her from
114
selling
acre,
that
we're not
into a
gonna make
cottage.
lake
No,
No,
residential.
yeah, that wouldn't,
no, I'm good with
I
that.
mean, we wrote that whole thing pertaining to
Yes.
lot size properties, not
Yep.
acreage size properties.
What about the rural residential lots on the north side on Schmid? Maybe you guys were mentioning.
I
those
wasn't,
earlier.
I'm not sure what that stretch is.
Okay.
Which one is that?
It's along
Well,
Schmid,
Tom
it's
left
well
one
away
here.
from, well away from the lake, it's just,
Yeah, there's not anywhere near the lake. That road going in there?
I'm curious, well, it's as suburban residential, I'm curious if there was maybe a split, and they called it, you know how somebody splits their property, now it's the.
I don't think so, it's just a drive that goes through there that goes up to that,
But whether they should.
up to the lake.
If they should be lake or rural.
There's no water there at all.
Right.
No, but that's what he's saying, he's asking about rural residential.
Yeah, 'cause like
Why
when you
is
get
it,
up,
why is it
suburban
as suburban
residential.
right now when it should be rural? Unless there was
The
some
orange
reason-
boxes, Ken, is what he's talking about.
That's like
Along
out
the
where,
road,
like-
that should be-
I'm talking
That's
about
like
the
out
blue,
where, like,
I'm
Dave
talking
came
about
from,
all the
right?
blue.
Yeah.
I don't know why that would be considered, I mean, I guess there's a few of them, but it's not, I wouldn't consider that suburban.
Rural.
I think that's rural.
Sounds right, okay, so,
I'm not sure if our old map they went
Yeah.
with is different or.
The
yeah,
cross.
so if we take a look at the,
That's the road
at
that
that
to
97
Sarah's.
map, you can see right around here, there's the vaguest hint of
Yeah.
suburban residential, you know, it's really hard to tell, but,
I see why you thought it, it's
yeah,
just,
right?
yeah.
So again, I mean, do you anticipate people being upset? I mean, rural residential is a very permissive, you
I
know,
don't think there's
district.
much difference
um,
in our zoning between the two. I
Right.
think there's a little bit of a different setback requirements, but.
I just think they're more appropriately rural, I mean, I just wouldn't consider that area suburban.
No.
Right. Yeah, okay, well, so then, that clears up that area.
What's all west of town line, cause that's all suburban too, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Where at?
Like west, if you look at west of town line, there's kinda like two strips of suburban.
Yep, so again, you kinda see a bunch of those.
Sure.
Those dots. Doesn't really have the character of a suburban area.
And that's all the
But-
back is,
Yes.
I'm not even aware there'd be that many houses out there.
And that
What's
one
that?
here in the corner is, that's gotta be at least a 40-acre tract.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm curious if there's some things from that map to what we have, there's not an actual,
I just think of driving out there, there's not much going on.
using you guys now to do this for that, we should probably look at, I mean, if you're not in, if you're not in a subdivision, you shouldn't be suburban residential, you should be rural.
I would share that opinion.
Are you talking about that lake road right there by Cutler on the
They're
right
talking,
hand
they're
side?
talking up
We're
here,
talking west of,
right up there.
The bigger map.
these two strips here, like off of Schmid, and then.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Those should all be rural.
That's what we're saying, it's not suburban,
Yeah, if we're
so.
gonna have a digital zoomable map, we should definitely look at.
Yeah, anything that should
Keeping it
be rural,
consistent.
I would think.
That's what I was curious, have we had properties that were split into subdivisions at that
We
time,
had
it's like,
that
oh, it's suburban residential.
I know the lake, I've seen this 100 times, so. What did you send it? What did you shoot that?
Still rural, though.
And the
Ginger
only
went
thing
to
I
that
think of,
meeting.
But it's not even
She
marked,
wanted
it's
to
like,
let us know she's going
there's
to that
that
meeting, she
one
made it back.
road they made off of, oh, Wilson used to live out there, you know, there's like kind of 4 houses on that one road, but I mean, even that, it's not like those lots are that small, they're
Right.
pretty spacious.
When you start getting into over acre sized lots, it's rural residential. Yeah, I don't know what.
So that's another topic on the agenda, are you talking about the commercial areas, or are you not yet? So as far as zoning administration goes, when, you know, folks have questions, what records, or, you know, like, without a concrete zoning map, how have you handled those kinds of questions? This is kind of best interpretation.
You ask Dave when you apply for a permit, he lets you know what the plat map says.
Right, okay.
That's been standard business for a while around here.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's great, there's
Well,
collective
I'm not
memory in that
sure-
work sometimes, but.
Cause I'm sure his maps all come from the county level, as far as, like, when he looked up my lot to know what it was, he's like, well, you're this and this, and I'm like, well, where do you know that from? As far as what our building height, where it's a little different, I mean, where, according to the county, what subdivision you're part of on what lake. But this would definitely clarify on a township level.
Right. I think it might be good to just really get this out, during the notice, the public notice period, so people can really see this and comment on it if, you know, they see their property and say, what's going on there, that doesn't look right. So that, by the time you guys head up to this.
I feel the same as that they should be lake residential. The lots, so like these ones would be, would be lake residential, those would be just rural. And once you turn that corner, you're no longer lakefront, or across the street is lakefront.
You talking like headed out on Schmied there?
Going south on
Lake
North
Road.
Lake, that little cluster of suburban residential as well.
That's the one we were talking about.
Oh, yeah, Cutler, yeah, the south side of Cutler.
Yeah.
Cutler and Lake
Yeah,
there.
Yep.
And then the lots that are passed around going south on North Lake, those would be back to, you know, rural residential.
Yeah, you're right, cause that doesn't have anything
I'm
to do
not
with
sure why they're showing up as suburban.
So are you saying maintain the ones on Cutler as suburban and then the ones on North Lake?
The ones on Cutler would be Lake,
Okay.
being across the street from Lake, and then the ones around would be rural.
I would agree.
These ones here rural, these ones like.
Yeah. Cause I mean, I get why all of Honeymoon Heights is suburban residential. I mean, that's a subdivision.
But I don't understand that hunk on Schmid Road being,
Yeah, I
ro-
think that's, I think.
or the
those
chunk
systems-
on Ferry, and I don't
Isn't it-
understand
I
the
don't-
chunk
you
on
haven't seen that
Beach.
one, Jenny? There's more that go
Yeah,
kinda just scattered out in the middle of nowhere for whatever reason.
I know, that's
So I
right.
think we should definitely, if we're gonna do the public notice and everything, might as well get it cleaned up.
Yep.
Okay,
There's
so
not much
let's,
difference between the two, is there?
let's go through some of the changes we made, so, Schmied Road, we're gonna change that to rural residential.
Yep.
That one little spot on Ferry, we changed to rural residential.
Okay.
And then the small spot on Beach,
Bass Beach
Bass Beach
Drive.
Drive, that is suburban, we're changing that to lake residential.
Yep.
And the lot right next to it, right to the south of it, would be lake residential.
Right, yep. Rural residential,
Okay. And then down Lake Road, corner of Lake and Cutler, the ones on the north side, right along the road, Cutler, will be lake residential.
Mm-hmm.
And the lots just south of it, rural residential.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then these ones that are kinda scattered out there,
Suburban.
west of the lake, will be rural residential.
Road.
Yeah.
Oh, the Jefferson, page 7.
All of them, right, Joe?
Yes,
Those two orange strips,
yep.
okay.
Okay, how about the Tamarack, well, Lake Forest is pretty straightforward, Tamarack Lake, how's that looking? Again, you've got the larger lot sizes that, you know, the lake residential district, you know, requirements and stipulations don't,
Jordan,
super apply.
don't you think they have that Bass Beach separated, part of it lake and part of it suburban? Cause he takes in a lot of space right there. That RV park.
We're only amending the north of Cutler, I think.
Right, I know, but that Bass Beach Drive,
Yeah. Well,
Shouldn't-
that orange one isn't very big, so that was gonna be lake residential. I mean, the bigger yellow one, honestly, it's not gonna, it won't matter whatever
That's
we
part
do,
of the
it's a
campground.
swamp, it's not gonna, it
What was
doesn't.
I just don't want him to have two
I don't
different
think you could
assessments or
develop
three
it if
different
you wanted
assessments
to.
on one piece of property.
So should we leave it the way it is then?
I would definitely change that orange one to blue.
Yes.
But that bigger one directly south of it, on the north side of Cutler, you could leave that as rural, and I don't think it's gonna have an impact, and it is a bigger lot.
Yeah, there isn't
Yeah,
much.
it's a big one.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's just a swamp.
yeah, he parks a couple things on it, but it's,
Okay, so Tamarack Lake.
Tamarack, yes. Those larger lot sizes, like I said, kind of feels like similar situation to the town line lots, for the lots on the south of town line. Those are larger and require, less of that protection from the district.
I mean, my personal opinion is you'd still want it as lake residential if they have houses on the lakes, I mean, you're gonna want whatever. I assume the difference in lake residential is probably setbacks, is that the big one, or?
We allowed for closer setbacks based off of smaller lot sizes.
Yeah, okay,
Is what started this whole
okay,
process of making the zone, requiring setbacks for the zone and then onto this.
makes sense.
Stuff in the house is on it. The only thing is we want the lemmings here. That's a little chunk.
Biggest thing actually is change, there's rural residential,
Oh.
minimum lot width is 165 feet. The suburban's 110, so if you got smaller lots.
See
You could do it in, if you change it to from suburban to rural, and it's a smaller lot, that may complicate things, but I mean, the front yard's still
I was
30
thinking that
feet.
must be.
That's why they had
Cause see, side yard, this is the other thing, the side yard, for, if we have a residence house, it's 30 feet, where in suburban it's 15. Rear yard's 25, it's 15 in, rural residential, which is amended in 2010. Building height is still 35, lot coverage is still 25.
So that might be why they already defaulted to suburban, because they
Yes.
weren't wide enough.
They're small lots.
Yes,
That
that's what
makes
I'm seeing, the
sense.
biggest thing that sticks out to me in the quick. Yeah.
I think maybe we need to look more into it, cause I mean, some of those look like they would be,
Pretty small.
some of them look pretty small, right?
See what I mean?
I mean, there's a fair number of small.
Isn't part of some of the thinking on some of the stuff, didn't we have the fire department in here one night and they were talking about those homes being too close together because it's a fire hazard, because they can't get in there with the fire trucks?
But I mean, at least you got 15, that's what I'm saying, is if the lot width is only, in suburban is 110 feet, and rural residential is 165. So if your lot isn't even 165 feet, and we change it to rural residential, they're already violating already.
Right,
That's what I'm saying, with us changing those ones, I'm mainly concerned on that one.
Yeah,
Right.
I'm assuming they're suburban residential because of that ordinance,
See what I mean, Jordan?
because of the.
Which one are you guys?
The ones to the west are the whole group that you asked about.
These small lots, they belong to Schmid here.
On the bigger map.
Oh, those
Yeah,
ones?
yeah.
Or-
These might not have more than 100 and,
How big are
less than
they?
110
okay.
feet, so they automatically got put in suburban.
Oh,
See,
oh,
we can
leave
push
the
it
suburban
over.
in.
Over here.
Doesn't bother me.
Yeah. And then again, suburban being, you can have a 15-foot side
Smaller
yard
setback.
between you and your neighbor, it gives them 30 feet, whereas rural, you have to have 30 feet and 60 feet.
Okay, well, I'd say leave them
Yep, okay.
There you go.
Leave those.
We answered our own question.
Yep.
Makes it fun.
There had to have been a reason, right?
Yeah, it's tough interpreting things from many years ago, for sure. Okay, so that clears up the lake residential, clears up a lot of those rural residential questions. There were a few suburban residential lots that are, kind of dotted throughout the entire agricultural residential area, in the south side of the township. And,
Yeah, your number two, I don't understand why.
Where at?
The number two, this should be did he give you a copy of this one?
Mm-mm.
Go ahead.
it should be all ag.
I meant to print it and I forgot it in my office.
I don't think
That's
I
the
printed it
one
on
that-
Got this, yeah.
Number two should be all farm field.
That's
Yeah.
goofy.
So again,
It should be Henry's Piece. That's the south side of or Mitchell, that's behind Brian Simon's house. To the second pivot back, cause the Ricker Lake drain goes through there. I don't know why that is. There's no even houses on there. I don't understand.
I think that was a handwritten map that had its own mistakes
We
made
go
at
to
the
another- Yeah, but that's been a field for
Ever.
ever.
perfect.
Okay, so that's
That whole,
exactly
that whole lot there at number two is.
We rated that.
County drain goes through it.
You know, Brian Simon lived there.
And they had a truck stuck there a couple times. Whatever, you had.
Oh, really? Did you get yelled at?
Only Joe does.
Yeah.
I learned the send it term. If you got stuck and you sent it, you didn't get in trouble. It's if you let off that you got in trouble.
Yeah.
I'm sure I'm in the right spot, cause you got Ricker Lake goes through there, see, oh, well, you Ricker Lake. Let me get Ricker now, yes. It should be that piece right there they're talking about, cause where Henry's Pond is, cause Ken and Vicky own this, that's the L shape. Or Kenny and Vic, right, am I right?
You're right there.
Yeah, that's right on. And
And that's Ricker Lake outlet going through the property.
from Google Maps data too, I mean, yeah, there's nothing out there, right? So
Yeah, I don't see why that's not right. Number one's where those trailers, there's a double wide on Elmy Road.
Is that the subdivision? So
Yeah.
probably under the minimum lot size.
So that should stay rural residential, or sorry, agricultural
Suburban.
residential.
Those lots are really
What,
small.
was it, or was it ag and you're changing it to suburban, or?
No,
so-
he's saying it was a
It was
suburban lot
suburban,
in the
okay.
middle of ag,
Yeah,
Right.
is why it was
Those
highlighted.
are really small.
and then I can say number 5, that's on the corner there by what was Corey's and now is Larry's. That is just a house, it's like less than, like, across from the old school,
It's got
not
like
old school.
Are you talking about, number 3?
Let me tell you.
Number
Five.
Number 5.
What crossroad is that on?
It should be Almy and 91.
Okay.
91, right here, it is
He might not have 110.
2.9 acres.
Well, that's probably different because wouldn't they have had to have 5 if it was ag? So that's why that is.
But why
Right.
would it be rural then?
Yeah, cause that's been there forever, I mean, it's never part of this other it was 158 acres. 157 acres is what the rest of the piece was, so. That was
That's an old house.
Franklin's for a long time,
Mm.
Franklin's.
Then that's currently on that map as suburban.
So currently, all of these, we left as agricultural, residential because it's the most permissive. But those can be changed to suburban residential. The reason I wanted to review them today was because there was a question.
So that's more on the kind of thing, I'd like that.
I don't think it qualifies as ag. Is there a minimum, or should it be rural residential?
So again, it's tough to go on those dimensional requirements because some of these may have been zoned before and then split. And you know, they were just non-conforming lots still in that zone. So, that could create some issues down the road, but, definitely, I think leaning more permissive, if there's a doubt, is preferred.
I mean, that's gonna be one spot in the whole, I'd leave it ag, that's my feeling.
Yeah.
This over here is at least, I mean, it's close to there, but that is more, that's built up more than, I mean, that's one house. Now we gotta go over, and Joe should know number 6, that's what I was trying to figure out. It's gonna be on Lake Road, Joe.
Was it not the Forest Lake or whatever?
No, that's just past
This is
where all
gonna
the
be, this is
curves.
Almy,
Oh, okay.
that's gonna be, you guys own, you farm around it, but that's not,
That's a landline.
that's not, that'd be the south side of your mom's property there for,
It's this guy here, is the guy, so you got. up the hill, only curves, and it's,
So we're looking in here.
yeah. You can come off the end of
It's
Lake
all-
where it, cause Lake stops here
Yeah.
at the Y
It's gonna-
intersection,
it's
then
gonna
picks back up up
Across the
here.
pig barn, so,
Across, so.
Yeah,
that's what I
There's
think
the
it
pig
is.
barns right here.
right. It's almost like that square.
This, yeah.
And I don't, there's not any
That should be.
ag, leave it ag.
Okay.
You know what,
Definitely seems like that.
the little spot,
There's a couple of houses there along Almy after the curve that they might not have the 110 foot, so that's why they're suburban residential.
Is that right there?
Yeah, from there, like that's a lot, that's a lot,
and
that's
they're
a lot.
on Quisenberry's piece. it's
Yep,
Felicia Farm.
Yep. So that's about another suburban. They're not wider than 110.
So for number 6, were you?
6, the smaller one to the south.
Yep.
Yep.
Alright, and then, 3 and 4, have we discussed? I don't think we've gone over those yet, so, number 3
This
is,
is where we're at, it's Wilcox.
yeah, yep,
That's
What I don't understand is why they wouldn't have like Jordan's house in there.
Should that be?
And it has lots of little bigger than ours, but not much.
Yeah. I'm 0.77
Yeah.
acres. The trailer out next to me is 0.71.
Yeah, so they don't.
I feel like a nerd for knowing that, but that is what they are, I can tell, it's self-reporting, so.
it's the kind of stuff we wanna, we wanna hear.
But why would they be spot zoned as suburban when everything else is residential or rural?
Rural residential all around.
The weird thing is those 2 orange lots that are like right south of my house that are like elongated.
Yep.
Those are mostly all just field,
Yeah,
cause it's
you
those
got
2
the house
houses,
on Youngman.
and then it's just,
Yep.
it's just all that field that runs up to the
Mhm.
school field. I don't know why that would be any different than my house, but. Yeah, cause you're orange, right, David?
Yeah, I'm the last orange there on the right,
Yep.
cause then you go to the soccer field, so.
Do you think it's cause it used to be school property or something? You think maybe that's
Yeah,
That's
but
why.
so is the, I mean, it still is, but so is the soccer field, but I mean.
Oh,
that's-
yeah.
I mean, the soccer field was all farm field, even where the break started is now, so.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then going off of, well, why is this and not, these other lots up there aren't wider than 110, so why are they rural?
I mean, I almost
don't
like,
think there's any rhyme or reason.
when I looked up suburban, it's almost better to be suburban, cause then you can have,
Plus there's fewer setbacks.
yeah.
15 foot on the side instead of 30.
Yeah.
'cause
Well,
you-
like,
you have-
Randy and Missy King's lot's real small.
Yeah,
They're a lot smaller than what my single wide
And
sits on.
other than the soccer field, the 2 soccer fields, the rest of those should be suburban based off of how the ordinance is written.
yeah, so.
I don't know why I don't know why mine and David's house would be any.
Small lots here change to,
That's weird.
suburban residential.
Well, and just how the village lines are drawn as well through all of that is.
It's weird.
Do those village boundaries look, incorrect?
No,
they're
they're
just
right.
Oddly
No, it's
drawn.
just real oddly
Okay,
shaped.
Gotcha. Yeah, we did a few modifications on the north side, those 2 lots that stick up, kind of in the center on either side of Airport Road.
Kings is 0.33.
Yeah, no, I thought it was about half of my trailer lot is. And then I guess the one next to it's just a small
Same
King's.
0.32, so it was just there small.
Yeah, they're baby lots.
So it's basically somebody almost split one of those lots and.
I bet that's
put
what
two
it
on.
is.
Yep, that's what it is.
Cause yeah, if you double it, that's basically
Yeah.
what.
You're 0.66 or so here, so. Alright. So we'll get back to.
Yeah, are there any other issues around that little suburban pocket?
Is there something about that?
Yeah, we don't
So,
Yeah.
yes, so that's the commercial area. Just wanted to quick go over this. A lot of these, this matches quite well what was on the 97 map. A lot of these are split zoned, so I guess I just wanted, you guys to be aware of what's going on there. Could potentially complicate things for folks, just knowing what their property is, but, that's a pretty close interpretation of what it was.
Well, that's what they started, there's a couple new houses there.
Not here. No, state police is here and rural, all gas is there and then.
Okay, so I'm one, oh, yeah, it's over here.
Yeah. Like this in here, where they moved up for AG1, there's a lot of that. No, I mean, as much commercials we can keep, we need that for when it's forward. As we leave it.
For your firm's suggestions.
Yeah, again, it's tough because, to avoid, the full process of changing lots over, you need to limit things a little bit, but I think we're gonna be okay with the number that we've discussed today. Any other, just recent changes in zoning that, I don't know, maybe you can pick out as
Is he playing?
maybe
Weed and
reflected in these?
somebody's dad should come out of retirement. Tony should play.
I don't think there was any other.
Tony should play.
Questions
Yeah.
on.
No, he's not gonna come out of retirement. Come on.
That is, again, not sure why suburban wouldn't apply there, but that is all. There's a bunch of houses right next to each other. The apartment complexes, back east, if I remember right.
An area west of the village that.
Yeah.
It needs some.
On Tamarack Road, west of the village, north of the gate, that kind of cluster there of lots.
Here.
Is that one?
Right.
Gotcha.
That.
Oh, all those houses just leaving town there, that's what
Yeah,
it is, right?
yeah.
Are you saying that should be suburban?
Well, that's what I'm wondering what you guys think.
I would
That's a
support,
lot.
I mean, those
Those
guys
lots.
are suburban there, I mean, it's literally an extension of town, even if town
Yeah.
doesn't go there.
Yeah.
Well, and you have to go, there's no road that comes over to Edgar without going to the, I think it was that First Street or whatever, go in, or you gotta come in from.
Yeah, right,
You can walk through there, but you can't drive through there.
I'll be honest, I'm learning that's not town for the first time right now, so.
I mean, it's, like I said, our town, village limit lines are weird.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's definitely, and I've heard there's been quite a few annexations recently, so, definitely make things a little.
but I mean, yeah, I would definitely support if you guys did the, making those all suburban residential. Would we do the same thing out by the sewer ponds too, Joe?
Yeah, all those folks there.
Which is where now?
Little Fawn Court up
I was
here,
looking at that.
all those houses that those are all new in the last few, 10, 15
Yeah.
years, but, I mean, those are certainly, that's a little suburban grouping, I'd say.
Mhm.
And we're thinking of making that suburban.
Yeah, that right there, possibly.
So this will be where winters are, the Four Seasons is here. Right, this is where Four Seasons is, gotta be, cause here's the curve, here's the curve, the Four Seasons is there.
Right, and then this is where,
I mean, you take over and come
but
down.
those ones down there are all houses,
Yep,
Zelters live there, Smiths live there. So,
have for building, I mean, he can have the grandfather in there, but it shouldn't change anything, changing it from rural to suburban. Let's do it. Cause that, he was saying that was always yellow.
Yeah,
Yeah, yep.
You see
or
where
at
it is?
least according to that one.
Yeah, it's a cluster.
You know, Four Seasons is right here.
So all those areas are classified as rural residential right now, or, you know, according to the 97.
Yeah. I'd say suburban, and I was saying this up here too, this little section by the sewer ponds.
Well, that basically turned into a subdivision.
Yeah, they made it one.
That'd be up here across from sort of.
I don't know if they probably got permits way with closing on it, but, right, they made it a subdivision.
Well, when I first moved in, they weren't there.
Oh, yeah.
That was.
No, they weren't there when I was a
The
kid.
rural
That
ground,
was
so.
03.
Yep.
Yeah. Let's change it, we'll see what.
It's right here at the curve, North Street turns into Satterley. So all of these on the Little Fawn Court, and then up to the corner, right?
And then those as well.
Yeah, and then here, yep.
Okay, so because the number of lots, that we're looking at are, I have to verify the exact number, but they're getting into the territory where, we are, I think, making enough changes that, this is gonna be a full, you know, zoning map update. You don't have to surgically go in and let people know that you're changing, the zone of their property. So, I need to double check with some colleagues on this, but, if you're doing this kind of change, it might be worth looking at other areas that you're wanting to change also, but, I don't know, that complicates things and changes the scope of the project a little bit, so, I don't know if you guys wanna keep it pretty, you know, focused of what we've discussed here.
Feels like we've kinda commented on just about everything.
Yeah.
Cause most of the rest of the area is rural. I'm not saying it's classification, it's just, you know, it's country, the rest of it, so.
Yeah, okay. Alright. Great. Well, this is, apologies for the length of this discussion, but it's super helpful.
No, I'm glad we had it.
Get the,
That's where we're here.
the insider
Make
knowledge.
it clean.
I didn't know I'd have so much fun on my first.
You were here for some of the other fun ones too.
Yeah, I was just sitting out there.
This is the audience.
Yeah.
Any other questions you guys have, or any other changes?
So, our next meeting would be, you know, presentation of final draft. And you guys meet every 2 months,
Yeah,
is that
2
right?
months.
Okay. So we could definitely have this ready by then. And then, yeah, adoption by the town council.
Yeah.
Looking ahead, I see it's May 14th on the agenda.
Yep. Do you wanna do it before that, or do it on May 14th?
I mean, that gives it enough time to, them give us the draft. Have anybody look it over for
Yeah,
mistakes
you
or
didn't want to take
last minute changes, and then present it as a public hearing at the next meeting.
Yeah, public hearing,
Yeah.
14th, our next scheduled meeting, 14th, yeah, May 14th.
Okay.
That's 2 months from now, so that.
Give them time.
Yep.
And I think also, you know, I've been communicating with Brandy, but maybe I can get another version to you guys relatively soon in the next month or so. And then we can add some more back and forth before that final.
Cause they have a monthly meeting too, that they could definitely take a look at it,
Yes.
preliminary as well, and
Which,
make
yeah.
any corrections as needed. Perfect.
Okay, so we're thinking then, that we'll have everything on the 14th.
we should target that date, cause, you know, have things finalized by then, for sure.
Okay, everybody agree with that?
I'm good.
Okay. Thank you for coming.
Yeah, thank you for
Yeah,
having me.
Definitely.
Appreciate all the feedback and, the workshop, so.
We're gonna have to add the accessory building height change for that public hearing. You know, we changed that before, county shed weight.
Forgot about that, didn't we?
Just said we gotta add that to that public hearing
Notice,
notice.
covered all of the
Changes to the accessory building.
Yes. But she's gonna have to post all that.
That's all drafted and ready, so
Yeah.
should be.
Okay. Next on the agenda, we don't need to get, super into detail with this tonight, but short-term rentals. I printed off a few copies of some, different ordinances and, applications from different townships. Ordinance from Maple Valley, Sydney Township, and a application form from Belvedere. You guys wanna discuss it some, or just look it over from now till our next meeting? Open to you guys.
Was it Mr. Acosta, is that your name?
Yes, Frank.
Frank, I would just say, I like what Frank said, cause I'm glad you had those numbers, cause, you know, I was kinda thinking all that without having numbers, and, I mean, I think short-term rentals are pretty good for the economy, and it's funny, he was talking about spending money, and I was just on vacation, and I thought, yep, when you're on vacation, you spend money, kinda stupid, you're just like, well, let's go buy a bunch of cheese, and, you know, go out to eat and stuff, so. I mean, I would echo probably everything he said, that, yeah, when you're out on vacation, of course you're gonna be spending money locally, so I would just say whatever we do, we should make sure it continues to encourage short-term rentals. I think that's great for this area.
I have a lot to offer.
Yeah.
Like I said, they moved in, we found out it was gonna be an Airbnb at the end of our lake, and I was like, I don't know how I feel about that, but I'm kinda flattered that people are spending money
Yeah.
to come and play in what I call my backyard,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, I mean, I remember when I worked at Lufkin as a kid, I was kind of flattering, you know, you'd see these people from like Chicago, you're like, they're in Lakeview? They think that's sweet, you're like, okay, cool.
Well, I think I would definitely like to get definitely some more information from the public before we pull the triggers on, I mean, we're looking at, these are full contracts and fees and everything else involved. As far as this.
Seems to be pretty knowledgeable and somebody we could look to.
Yeah, absolutely, and also, sorry to just kind of speak up, I'm in my first meeting, so I'm not sure how. But I would be happy to give you my contact information, so like, if you ever have questions, like, as you're making some of these decisions and coming up with some of the language, things like that, I'd be happy to get coffee, grab lunch, whatever it is, to talk to you, to show you kind of behind the scenes, so it's like really that we're collaborating together, because I do truly think that we're both have a common goal, so I'd be happy to work alongside the team here on that.
Okay. Anything else on that?
No, is that just something we'll discuss in the future or
Yes,
something?
yeah, I just wanted to get it out there,
Okay,
you know, glad Frank showed up and we'll get it rolling in the future.
great.
I'm gonna duck out, but.
Yeah, hey,
Thank you, thanks, drive safe.
Have a good one. Okay, at this time, I will open up to public comment. This is on anything.
Don't have anything.
Okay, I will close public comment.
Do we need him for the next meeting or anything? Do we need him for the next meeting? Cause I know Randy will ask me.
Probably should. Well, what do you guys think?
For the
Have
public
him
hearing.
back, I would certainly think so, yeah.
I mean, if we're having a public hearing,
If there's any other
Yeah.
questions, that would,
Yeah,
it should be the final time.
feels important.
I would think for sure, if somebody had a legal question that maybe we wouldn't have, it'd be nice to have.
Nice to have, okay, alright, we'll ask him to get the next meeting, so. Okay, next meeting will be, May 14th, 6 P.M. We will go over the public hearing for the zoning and accessory buildings. One more thing we talked about, I forgot to put it on here, but we talked about getting Bill some kind of gift card.
Oh, yeah.
Or something. Would you guys wanna, I don't know, give him $100 gift card from, for Chaps or something?
Yeah,
It could be, I mean, Jordan, I don't know if you would wanna chip in.
I'm good, I'll chip in.
Okay,
Bill's a good guy.
he is a good guy. Yeah, he did a lot, that's for sure.
He definitely laid us a phone.
He was in some of those long meetings,
Yes.
when I was in the crowd,
He
so.
was, yes, so I think we ought to show him a
We
little
kept
bit.
an order too, I mean.
He kept meetings in order, he kept everybody focused, so,
Yep.
yeah, we should show him a little bit of gratitude, so $100 gift card for Chaps.
Okay.
$20 per person. Okay, no further discussion, get a motion to adjourn.
I'm working.
Motion by Jordan, can I get a second?
One second.
Second by Juana, any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carried.